D Jerome Garrett, your greatness empowerment coach. And today I want to introduce the 7 dimensions of conversation. There are 7 dimensions to conversation. The first dimension is internal dialogue. Now before we go any further, dialogue, the word dia, D-I-A, means between two. Log is logos. So the dialogos, the words between two people, the words between two or more people. So the first dimension of conversation is internal dialogue. Internal dialogue. Now, if we look at our internal dialogue is your self-talk. It is what's been written on your psychological blackboard, your program, your schemata, your schema, your script, the framework in which you think and which you act. That is your internal dialogue. So if you have something written on your internal dialogue that certain people are bad, if somebody said that to you growing up, certain people are bad, then you will grow up believing that certain people are bad until you come in contact with different people and you learn that there is good and evil in every race or in every group of people. And so internal dialogue is so very, very important. It is the core of our belief system, the core, the center, the nucleus of our belief system. So internal dialogue is very important. Internal dialogue is the message in our soul. It is what is in our soul, man. Our mind, our will, and our emotions. That's our soul. Your mind, your will, and emotions. So internal dialogue is important. Number 2 is external dialogue. So let me ask you, who are you talking to? Who is talking to you? Who are the 3 closest people to you? And what relationships are you in? Who is advising or counseling you? My mama used to say, I don't want y'all hanging with them people over there. I don't want you hanging with them people. Mama, why are you trying to choose our friends? She said, I'm not trying to choose your friends, but I believe that birds of a feather flock together. And people are going to either bring you up to their level, you won't even bring them up to your level, or you're going to go down to their level. So who we conversate with is so very, very important. External dialogue. Be careful who you're hanging around and who you're talking with. The third dimension is divine dialogue. Divine dialogue is prayer, calling, crying out to God, intercession, seeking the face of God, meditation, declarations and affirmations. These things you're doing in this space where your spirit man is coming up. And those who believe in speaking in tongues, building up your faith, yourself in your most holy faith. That is spiritual dialogue. That's divine dialogue. And so number 1 was internal dialogue. Number 2 was external dialogue, and number 3 was divine dialogue. Let's go on to number 4. Number 4 is accusational dialogue. The Bible says that the enemy is the accuser of the brethren. He accuses you day and night. He makes accusations against you. So I ask you these questions. Who is accusing you? Who is lying on you, and who's making false allegations against you? You will say the enemy. Some people might say negative energy, haters. But it's accusational dialogue. Now let's go to reputational dialogue. That's number 5. Now reputational and accusational dialogue work hand in hand. So reputation. Jesus said, who do men say that I am? So I ask you, number 5, reputational dialogue, who do men say that you are? What is your statue? Are you a status? What is the content of your character? Where do you rank? Are you living up to your name? Or are you living on the flip side or beneath your name? I think accusational and reputational dialogue is very important. Let me tell you why. Because it's a measuring rod. It's a measuring stick. But if you can't take criticism, and if you can't take what people are saying about you, the gossip about you, don't ask. Jesus knew who he was, so he could ask, who do men say that I am? If you can't handle it, don't ask people, what's your reputation? So number six is heavenly dialogue. I know I'm going a little deep. Heavenly dialogue is what is heaven saying about you. I don't know what heaven is saying about me. I stay on earth. No, there's a way to find out what heaven is saying about you, which goes back to number 3, divine dialogue. A part of divine dialogue is not just you talking. Remember, dialogos. Dia mean between two. You speak and be quiet. God speak and you listen. Same way you do it with a friend. Heavenly dialogue. What is God, what is heaven saying about you? And the last one, which is one of my favorite, is prophetic dialogue. What are the prophets publishing in the earth about you? What word has been spoken over your life? What has God said concerning you? And are you rehearsing the word that has been spoken over your life, or are you warring with the prophecy spoken over your life? Prophetic dialogue is a real thing. Yeah, people try to do the flip side of that and go to the psychic. But there's a prophetic dialogue, a spiritual dialogue that we can have and that we can hear. So let's review. Dialogue number 1. The internal dialogue. Dialogue number 2, external dialogue. Dialogue number, conversation dimension number 3, divine dialogue. Number 4, accusational dialogue. 5 is reputational dialogue. And 6 is heavenly dialogue. And 7 is the prophetic dialogue. Now, if you can imagine these going around in a circle, when we get the prophetic dialogue is spoken to shift your internal dialogue. Okay? Again, my name is D Jerome Garrett, your greatness empowerment coach. And I want you to remember that everything starts, ends, and continues with a conversation. So create your great by what you say. Talk to you later.
Whatsoever